Hello, welcome. Hey Ash and Winston, thanks for joining. So what's going on in the markets? Bitcoin is up almost 4%. I think we did touch over 4% earlier, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, so first of all, in today's video, I'm going to go through the Bybit pairs, just discuss what I'm looking at, and whether we have a trend reversal or not, whether we're going long or we're going short. We'll see. Hey Donna, how you doing? So yeah, let's get stuck into it. First things first, Bitcoin, the big dog. Let's have a look. Now, the weekly, doesn't look too bad. Not much to say on the weekly. And we've got a bit of time to go before it closes. But Bitcoin on the daily. Now, we've got this huge daily candle. Not huge, but it's big. It's a medium size. It's a medium sized daily candle at the moment. Now, let's hope we can close this like this or a little bit higher. Now, what I'm looking for might be a little bit more evident on the 12-hour is for Bitcoin daily to close above the previous high. Now, what does that mean? It means that it would be a really good sign for a trend reversal, right? So we're out of this downtrend, and yeah, it looks like we could be going long if we do close above this and we don't break this previous low. Looking at the MACD, it's looking very bullish, same as the RSI. Now, I know we don't really trade the RSI. I've just got it there at the moment to sort of give a little bit more confirmation on the trend direction. But yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Now, I don't think there's anything in there at the moment. If we have a look at the 4, it's a little bit messy. We've still got a level here where we've tested a few times and rejected, right? So that's a really good sign. It's off the 45,500. And we've broken that previous high. So on the 4, we've broken the previous high, and it looks like we're hunting down this previous high as well, which will be the daily high. So if we can close above that, I would be looking for a close above that high and then a pull back to a level. And I'm guessing that that is probably going to be the level. So I've tested here, it's played around on this level, and then we've tested here again. It's not a perfect level, so I'd probably line that up with my fibs as well. And if it does sit around a good fib level, then yeah, that's where I'd be stalking for an entry point to go long on Bitcoin. Failing that, we don't break that high, then we're still consolidating, we're still crab walking, and it's boring, I guess. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. Now, AVE. Hey Mark, Stash Perp is up 100%. What's Stash Perp? Let's have a look. I don't think it's in this list, but it's all right. AVE. So AVE on the. Let's have a look at the weekly to start with. We've got a little bit of support down here. Not enough data to really confirm that that's a support level. On the daily, we've got a daily trend, right? Daily downtrend. Again, it looks like we could have bottomed out. We've come up, we haven't quite broken the previous high, so I wouldn't say that's reversing in trend, but if we do get a higher low, then that's a really good sign. We may just settle on this level. I really hope not. The whole market tends to move with Bitcoin, so if we see Bitcoin take off, then I would expect to see the rest of the market do the same. At the moment, yeah, there probably was a daily trade there, although the MACD is looking very divergent, so I would say there wasn't a trade there. Let's have a look at the 4. The 4 might be able to tell us a little bit more. So the 4-hour looks good, right? So we've had a series of higher highs and then higher lows as well. We've pulled back to this level and looks like we're taking off. So you could always go to these lower time frames, and if it's in your trading rules or in your trading plan and you like to trade, these lower time frames with the direction of the 4-hour, then you're more than welcome to do so. I tend not to trade against the daily, and if I do, then it would definitely be a reduced risk. But it always pays to at least consider it, or at least look at it. Just be aware that you're trading against the daily trend. So yeah, AVE I don't think there's too much there. The thing that stands out is the 4-hour trend, but if we look lower, the 30 doesn't look too bad. What about the 1? The 30, yeah, the 30 doesn't look too bad. It just, a pullback. It just isn't a great looking trend, right? So we all know what a great looking trend looks like, and this just isn't it. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. So it's possibly one to consider, but yeah, it's not great in my eyes. Yeah, all right, so anyone that has any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat box and I'll get to them. ADA. It's an absolute scorcher of a day here in Sydney. Hopefully I can get this stream done and finish off some work and head down to the beach. Might even see what Craig's doing. We might go for a little fish maybe. We'll see. ADA, all right. Now ADA is sitting on this level. It's a pretty strong level. Let's have a look at the 4. Yeah, it just rejected that level so many times, and we've created those lower highs all the way down. Right, so that's, you know, just moving sideways. So again, there's nothing there on ADA. We really need to break the previous high on at least the 4-hour, but the daily would be ideal. MACD is looking good. RSI is looking good as well. So I think I said this a few days ago. It just looks like the market is primed to change direction. Yeah, we did see a bit of a sell-off again over the weekend, but it's been reclaimed, you know, the last few days, which is a really good sign as well. I did mention in, I think it was the newsletter, that yeah, a lot of on-chain data is saying that a lot of Bitcoin especially is moving from exchanges into cold storage, which to me means that whales essentially aren't planning to sell. You know, they move Bitcoin away from exchanges into cold storage to hold them, right? So they don't plan on selling. You tend to see a big sell-off when there's a high volume of Bitcoin moving from cold storage to exchanges, because why else would you? You know, you don't move Bitcoin from cold storage to an exchange to buy more. You only move it there to sell it or consider selling it. So yeah, so that's a really good sign as well. So like I said, there's a few things that are lining up to say that we may be in for, what's the date? The 21st. I won't say a good Christmas, but maybe a good New Year's and a good start to next year. So anyway, ADA, nothing there for me. Algo looks very depressing. The daily is just, yeah, basically moving sideways. Let's have a look at the 4. The 4 is just doing its thing, creating highs, higher lows, lower high, lower low. It's just, yeah, sideways. There's no trades there. Nothing worth looking at anyway. Alice, another one that's just bouncing on support. It would be, I like to try and find a round number. It doesn't seem, $11 around that level. Just bouncing around there, just trying to decide what it's doing. You know, we've tested here, we've just moved sideways, tested again. Yeah, there's no trades there. It's just one that's moving sideways. Quite boring. Atom, I feel like most of the list is going to be like this. There's a few that do stand out, that are really going against the trend of most of the market. I think AVAX is one of them, and yeah, we'll get to that. So Atom, daily, very depressing, sideways. Again, bouncing around on support, just moving sideways, right? It's just textbook sideways. Now AVAX, look at it, just the first glimpse of AVAX on the daily, it just looks completely different to every other coin, right? So we've broken the previous high, we've moved higher over the past few days. So this is one that I've kept in my list for the past week or so, just hoping to catch a long trade. It just hasn't really presented. The trend just isn't great. But that doesn't mean there's nothing now. So if we can see, we did have a nice pullback on the 12-hour. So we did have a trend on the 12-hour. The trend is still valid. The 4-hour is messy. But this is the previous pullback on the 12, right? So that's this low. So that doesn't mean that we can't look at these lower time frames and catch a possible cradle on these lower time frames. It doesn't look like there's anything there at the moment, but everything's in agreement. So yeah, AVAX is definitely, I might even create a little gold list of ones that are trending and ones definitely to keep an eye on for long trades. Axie is another one that's just, you know, moving sideways. A little bit of consolidation there. But yeah, you can already see that there's no trades there. Bitcoin Cash, same thing, completely sideways. Let's see this BTCUSDT. Let's have a look at the daily. I can already see it's, yeah, just bouncing around, right? So we've got that previous high, low, lower high. It's still a bearish trend on the daily. The 4 hour, we've created that new high low, which is good. So yeah, everything's just disagreeing, right? So we've got the 4 hour disagreeing with the daily. We've got the MACD. The MACD disagreeing. Like, it's just, yeah, it's a mess. BNB sitting on this support again, just crab walking. Look at that, crab walking. There's nothing there, right? I think our time would be best spent focusing on those coins that are trending, like AVAX. Chile's daily, looking the same, much the same, just very much sideways. Comp perp daily, it's, yeah, created that low, lower high. What's it doing now? Look, I'd like to say I'd be open to short trades at the moment, but I'm not. Like, the setup would have to be really good, which is odd, you know, like you just look at the market over the past few weeks and everything's very bearish, and to say that you wouldn't be confident in taking a short trade is just a really good sign. Comp, yeah, look, I don't think there's much there. Yep. Now, Doge is one that has bounced off this support level, right? And we did break the previous high. I think that may have been around the time that I believe Tesla released the news to say that they are accepting Doge as a payment, or they're looking into it at least. So a bit of a pump, you know, classic Elon pump. But at the moment, it's just gone sideways, right? So we had that quick pump, another sell-off, and now it's just consolidating. DOT is, right, so we've got a nice support level here. We've tested. We did have a level a little bit higher. It seemed we tested there a few times. We've broken through. Now we've found this level. So what's it doing now? Downtrend on the 4. Downtrend on the daily. What's the 8 look like? Yeah, it's a messy trend. The MACD is very questionable as well. For that reason, I think we can skip DOT. Yeah, it just doesn't stand out, does it? Engine. Another one that's just, you know, crab walking. Very sideways, high to higher low to lower high, like nothing. You can't trade that. I mean, some people probably do try and trade that. It's just very risky. EOS, look, do we even need to go down the lower time frames? Look at this, like completely sideways. Some people might see that as a, I don't know, a wedge or something, but not us. We don't trade that. We trade trend. ETC, another one bouncing around on a level. Look at that, completely sideways. This market, I can't remember the last time we saw this market just move so sideways for so long. And it's frustrating, but that just, I believe it's just a test of our patience and a test of sitting on our hands and saving that capital for when the market does move. ETH is a very messy chart. Let's have a look at the weekly. The weekly's kind of ruined by that big candle there. Daily's messy. Let's have a look at the 4. The 4 again is just choppy. I know it can be frustrating, right, when markets are doing this, and for anyone that is new to crypto, I think I can honestly say it doesn't happen that often where the market is just so sideways. But after the big run that we had and the big sell-off that we've just recently had, it's understandable that the market needs a bit of a break and just a consolidation sideways. I'd like to say that good investors are just accumulating coins that they're keeping an eye on. File perp, again, it does look bearish. But yeah, the daily looks bearish. It's just the 4 hour looks more sideways than anything. Is there any levels here? No. Yeah, nothing for me. Phantom daily looks sideways. Let's have a look at the 4. Yeah, same thing. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. Nothing. Ooh, FTT. What do we have? Now we could say that that was the previous high, right? If we can get a nice close above that, then yeah, that's a really good sign. Let's have a look at the 12. The 12, we've got a low, high, 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 low. Even the 8 hours looking really good. The moving averages are good. MACD is good. We need that trend to move a little bit more. The 4 hour, what do we have? I think I like the trend more on the 8. The 4 hour's not too bad, but the 8 is better. But we can't look at the 16 because the moving averages won't be right. But the 8, yeah, that's definitely one to keep an eye on. Especially if that keeps moving, then yeah, if we get that trend coming back on these higher time frames, that's a great sign for FTT. But yeah, there's nothing. Let's have a look lower actually. Trend, yeah, the trend's very choppy on these lower time frames, so it's probably the 8 hour for me. I'll throw that in the list just to keep an eye on, but it's going to be a while away until the 16 hour looks good. All right, HBAR, another one that has broken the trend, right? So the trend isn't the best, but you know, you just have to have a quick look at it and see that it's had a really good move. 4 hour trend's a mess. The 8 hour looks good. Ooh, 16 looks good too. Tell you what, that's another one that we can put in the list. It stands out from the rest, much the same as FTT and AVAX, I think. That candle didn't close very bullish, but if we get a little bit of a deeper pullback into that area and a bullish candle, then yeah, that's definitely something I'll keep an eye on. Looks like we've got a level there too. Unfortunately, it's not really a round number. But yeah, anyone that knows what they're looking at, then yeah, that's definitely worthy of being in the list. Internet computers just continues to crash. There is a bearish trend there. The MACD is still looking bearish. What's the 8 hour doing? Could be a short option. There's just something about it that I don't like. What is it? Lower low, lower high, lower low, pullback. There's nothing there at the moment, but yeah, it could be one to keep an eye on. It is trending. I'm not going to throw it in the list though. Alright. IOTA daily looks, yeah, that's messy. Link, what do we got? Another one, like, I think Craig said in a live trading floor this morning, like Link has, yeah, underperformed. Like you look at the, when was this? May this year. It looks very cheap for what it is. It's a good solid project. It's just done nothing. And the 4 hours very sideways. I know that these scans can be a little bit boring when the market goes sideways. You just think we're just, you know, tapping through this list, getting it done. But I honestly think that's a good way to do it. If you spend too much time analyzing a chart, it means you could be looking at things that just aren't there. If the trend just doesn't jump out at you and stand out, then it's probably not worth trading. LRC is a mess. Litecoin tested this level again. What's it doing on the 4? The 4 looks very sideways. We've got a bit of a level there that needs to break through. And the daily, yeah, it just has some work to do. I believe that the rest of this week is going to be exciting. Let's see what happens. Luna. Now Luna's one that, yeah, again, you can just look at that and see that it's a lot different to the rest of the market. There's no real trend on the 4 hour. The 8, 2 hour. We're just looking for nice clean trends. We don't really have that there. Unfortunately, the trends are just a mess on all time frames. Not worthy of me looking any deeper, but Luna, yeah. There's nothing there at the moment, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on because it is moving. Mana. Now, I believe Mana is a project that I think Decentraland is built on Mana, something like that. And we all know the metaverse is just blowing up. So I will probably spend more time looking into Mana as an investment opportunity. But the daily looks messy. I believe the 4 hour is going to be the same. Yeah, it's just got some work to do. Matic. Let's have a look at the 2-day. Messy. Now Matic looks very different. Let's have a look at the daily again. It's very wicky, isn't it? Very choppy. There's no real trend there. We can skip that too. Geez, near it just looks like a mess. OMG. Very sideways. We just need, especially on those 4 hour time frames, let's have a look at this. We need something to happen. We need it to break out of this range that it's going through. Break out, pull back. You know, if we do have a higher low, you know, break out, pull back, then we've got a higher low, higher high, and another higher low, then yeah, we're on. But there's just nothing there at the moment. One is stepping out. But do we have a trend? Oh, it's a little bit of a trend. It's just not great. Yeah, what's lower? Yeah, nothing lower. The 4 hours just, yeah, we can skip that. Sand, another token that's working in that metaverse space. Let's have a look at the daily. Geez, could you get any more sideways? The 4 hour is just going to be, yeah, look at that. Very choppy. Very hard to trade. Sitting on support. If you just put some lines in there, look at this. Just bouncing around between these ranges. So nothing there unless we can step out of that range and begin trending. Shiba. Again, messy on the daily. Messy trend on the 4. Not worthy. Solana. Does look like it's in a nice daily downtrend. But the lower we get, the worse it looks. The 2-day. Yeah, I think I'm just, yeah, I don't like it. Solana. Skip. Sushi perp. I think this is going to be sideways as well. Yeah, look at that. Nothing there. If you're that way inclined, you can always go to those lower time frames and just, you know, focus on the 4 hour, see what it's doing. If it is ranging, then you could really focus on those lower time frames and wait for a trend to come back. But it's, you know, if you're not trading with the 4 hour or the daily, like it's pretty risky in my eyes. Tron, we have a daily downtrend, right, where it's moving down. 4 hour, the 8 hour trend probably looks better. it's there, so it's trending. The 8 hour doesn't look too bad. What's the 16 doing? 16-hour trend doesn't look too bad. Definitely one to consider for a short if you're that way inclined. Has some work to do. A few hours left, but yeah, we'll see. Uni. And get rid of that level, but yeah, very sideways. V-chain. Delete that level. Again, more work to do. What have we got? Woo USD. The 4 looks very sideways. I dare say, yeah, the daily's the same. Hard to trade. So as you can see, yeah, most of the market is just moving sideways, consolidating. It has done for days now, but there are a few that are stepping out, and that's a really good sign, I think. If we continue to see more coins that break this consolidation period, break this sideways crab walking crap, then yeah, it's a good sign. XRP. Oh, that huge wick is a bit of a concern. It's just showing the buyers have tried to push it up and it's just been sold off. Are we doing the same thing here? Probably not. Yeah, the trend's just not great. We need it to do a little bit more. And XTZ is just, yeah, sideways again. Right, let's have a look at the list. So yeah, 3 standouts, right, from that list, from that that quick scan. AVAX, yeah, daily looks good. The 4 hour, I think it was the 8 hour, wasn't it? Yeah, so the 8 hour still has a little bit more work to do. The 16 does look good, but yeah, if we can push a little bit higher and get that pullback, it won't be today or tonight. It will be, you know, over the next few days. But yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on. FTT was the same. 8 hour, the 16 has a bit of work to do. I think the 4 isn't the best. It's probably the 8, but yeah, 8 and 16 look good, and HBAR as well. The 8 does look good. A little bit more of a deeper pullback back to around this level. The 16 is in agreement as well, so that's one that I'll be keeping an eye on. That's probably the standout of this list actually. So yeah, that's the scan for today. Sorry, it was uneventful, but we do have 3 to keep an eye on, which is a little bit exciting. And let's have a look at where was it? Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? If we can get it, yeah, like I said before, if we can get a nice daily close on Bitcoin, that's a good sign. Before we end, does anyone have any questions or any coins they want me to look at? I think it's pretty quiet out there. Everyone's in holiday mode, which is good. If not, that's all good. And yeah, I think Lou's taken a few days off, so it'll be me or Craig doing the streams for, I think it's today, tomorrow and Thursday. We'll take a few days off over Christmas. We might do some scans the next week and then a couple of days off over New Year's. And yeah, hopefully the market has some things for us to look at and to trade as well. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks guys, thanks for joining, and I'll speak to you soon.